And nobody's mad at a legging because they're just soft. I sang a song to myself the other day. I was like, in a world like this, we all deserve comfortable pants. You know what I mean? Comfortable pants. If the inseam is too short or the crotch is too, and you're cutting up into your fucking vajige, nobody's comfortable. I'm angry. I'm cranky. I'm like not my best self.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay. Hey. 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 Wait, this is so fake. Hi. Guys, Mercury has been giving us such a journey today. Welcome to this podcast.
It's busy. It's
Busy
your
Phillips.
Friend Busy Phillips.
Doing her best. The technical difficulties happen. We roll with them. Maybe it's flares left over from yesterday's eclipse. Maybe it's Gina. Maybe if you make it through the whole podcast, it's 8 men on your balcony. We don't know. Don't know what's happening. But we do know that we're very lucky today because we get to talk to the one and only, the incredible Sara Bareilles. Oh. If we were like traditional podcasters and or like radio people, we would do that thing where we would put in a sound effect right now of like clapping and cheering.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's not it.
Oh, wait, do we have it? No, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Could you hear it?
I don't know. Can you hear that?
I can't hear yours.
Anyway, there's some clapping.
No. There it is.
We did it.
Just for future reference,
it's C.
Comparable genius, our friend Sara Bareilles.
Oh my God.
So dumb. We hope you guys are doing great wherever you are. It's been an interesting time. There's stuff. We'll get into it. But for now, let's just talk to Sara.
Hello.
This dog is nothing but a nuisance today.
Oh my God, look at her just like playing on the couch. She's got the zoomies.
She has the zoomies. I don't know why. Because I'm like, bless her heart.
She's relieved the eclipse is over and she made it through.
She is, actually. I think we all are. I mean,
I didn't look at it or care about it.
You did
partially because it was me being stubborn about how much hype there was around it. And then I was like, well, fuck all y'all. I'm not even going to look at it. It doesn't make any sense. I missed it.
Wait, Sara.
Really, jokes on me.
Jokes on you. Because also then...
I like how you were like, that eclipse is such a try-hard. I'm not going to give her any attention.
Her.
And then I watched the little video of the meteorologist who's literally in tears.
Crying.
Really
I have to say, I was not excited about it. Was not prepared. Didn't get any fucking glasses or anything. As an afterthought at like 1 p.m., I walked to Warby Parker and they laughed in my face.
Do they sell them at Warby Parker?
They didn't sell them, but they were giving them out for a while. But they didn't laugh in my face. They just were like,
okay,
those have been gone for a while. I'm like, oh, okay. And I picked up cricket early from school, and some of the moms were better prepared than I, obviously. Like, what else is new? And they had extra glasses, and then I looked at it, and then it was really neat.
Emotional. Was it cool?
I didn't get emotional, but it did look really cool.
I think the general consensus is that it is really cool. It is something that doesn't happen very often, and it's a natural phenomenon. And what the fuck, Sara? Just be a joiner once in a while.
It's interesting
That's
that
who I am.
You are I think you're a joiner-ish.
I think it depends on what I'm joining.
I think that's true too.
Yeah.
About you.
A discerning joiner.
I love a shared moment of humanity. And I'm actually surprised that you didn't see it as that you saw it as something else.
I think it just boils down to like the machine and just like getting it shoved down your throat.
So we were doing a press for Girls Five Eva and then had our big premiere, and you invited everyone in your family to come.
Yeah.
And that was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. It would be a lot. It's a lot if I have a very hard time relaxing if I don't feel like they're taken care of.
Yes.
And there were too many things that were outside of my control. Like the after party, which was so fun, but like not that, my dad's almost 80. It's just like that. That's not like where an 80-year-old man is going to like really
thrive.
Right. Totally. So I was just anxious about them being comfortable and fed and having a drink. That's really what I wanted. And I just couldn't control it. So I was stressed out by my family, but they all know that. And they know that I love them anyway.
I know. It's hard. I was like doing therapy, talking about what does it mean to like, we know these things about ourselves, but but family is important. We want to include them.
Yeah.
And like, I think sometimes I go too far on the other side, like, and maybe you're a little bit the same, Sarah, like where I'm like, I want to make everything perfect. And then I'm really stressed out about it.
Yeah. Right.
And then the therapist that I was talking to was like, instead, you just like try to just like have some ease.
Yeah.
It's like, what if?
Where do I buy that? Where do I buy the ease? Yeah, that's interesting because my therapist talks a lot about this idea of, we're always looking to belong. And I think family is particularly triggering because the things that make us feel like we belong to our family of origin are not always that congruous with the things that make us feel like we belong to our current life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we build out this new kind of solar system, and then you insert your family and it's like an old operating system. And the things are not like that congruent.
Right. Because our family spends so much time telling us they love us just how we are, like, so, which sort of equals, I love you in spite of all the things that I don't really like about you that much, that I'm not that.
I love you just how you were.
Yeah.
I love you just how you used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, right.
So then when you're connected with people that you're kind of like-minded, when you guys were talking, it reminded me so much of when I was getting married. My mom wanted to be so involved in the planning of my wedding, but she didn't like weddings or care about any of that. So, she'd be like, why do you have to give everyone favors? Like, this is stupid.
And then you feel judged. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd be like, well, then don't do the favors. Don't wear the dress. Don't do any of the, but then that's what the wedding is. So it's a hard thing. It's a hard fit sometimes.
It is. And it's a trip trying to have like real adult relationships with your parents and your siblings and it's complicated.
Yeah.
It is.
Like any other fucking relationship. It's
like my relationship currently with this dog.
Complicated.
She's living her best life right now.
I know. Your apartment looks so cute, Busy.
Thanks. You should come over.
I know.
Your house looks so cute.
Oh, thanks.
What else is going on? How are you doing?
Oh, how am I doing? Boy, I started off this year we've talked and I was like, guys, I'm doing great. I am doing great. And when I tell you the bottom dropped out.
No, I mean, not surprising.
I'm doing fine. I'm really working on just like this kind of feeling of surrender. I'm so excited for our show. that people are seeing it.
Me too.
Universally, the feedback that I'm getting is that people are loving our show.
Yes.
So I love, that makes me so genuinely happy.
Me too.
And then I'm in this like very fraught relationship with creativity right now. I'm trying to create and trying to write and just getting schooled by like creativity does not respond to that like controlling, manipulating energy. She's like, baby, don't play like that.
Let me ask you a question because I know a little bit, but and then also because we're so close, anything, obviously that you're like, I don't really want to talk about that. You don't have to talk about. But you're working on new music for yourself. Mm-hmm. And that has been a while it's been a while since you've done like new music just for yourself because you've worked since 2019. And it's
probably 2018 because I had written the record by then. And 2019 is when we were touring that record amidst the chaos. Yeah. So it's been a long time. And then kind of simultaneously working on a musical, adapting this book called The Interestings.
I love that book.
Oh, it is.
I love the book.
Really good. The book is amazing. And Busy's very dear friend, Jen Tolick, is the reader of the audiobook. And I can't recommend it enough.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm just like, I feel like in some ways I forgot how to do this. It just doesn't make any sense. There's this irrational fear that always crops up. I think artists in general just relate to this where you're like, I don't remember I'll never do it again. I'll never write another song. I'll never have another good idea. So bored of my thoughts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Are you finding that things that like previously on Sarah's life, that previously worked for you aren't working anymore in this like new version of yourself and the new version of what the world is like to drop in and write music? Like it's just things have changed and shifted or
I think that there's an element of, I don't know if I'm conflating things or not, whether it's just age and or world circumstances where it just feels so ungodly trite to be writing about anything that isn't like about the state of the world. And it's not, and I don't want to listen to music that is all like, that's not the only kind of music I listen to.
Did I send you that Hooray for the Riff Raff album?
Yes. It's so good.
Did you listen to it?
Yes. It's so good.
I feel like she does such an amazing job of like walking that line.
Totally. That's a great example. And I just listened to this new record. Katie Pruitt has a new record. And I wasn't that familiar with her music before. And I think her lyrics are bonkers good. Just amazing. I
want to listen to it. I'm going to get it.
Yeah. Her writing is really, really special. I think there are lots of people like doing it well. I just don't know if I'm one of them.
That's absolutely insane. And we know that.
I mean, we're going to give it our old college try. Like I'll give it my best shot. But it's just, like things that used to feel easy. I think to your point, like things that used to feel easy or like I knew what I was doing. I just don't know what I'm doing. And maybe a good way sometimes. Like,
yeah,
a reason to kind of rethink.
Maybe that means that you're on the precipice of like something new. Because it seems to me like, I'm sure it feels terrible for you, but it's also probably pretty normal for really talented artists to be like, what am I doing now? Who am I right now? Like, what do I have to say? I think comedians feel that way a lot. I know they do. Because every comedian periodically will send a message to their close friends being like, I don't think I'm a comedian anymore. I don't think I have anything else to say, or I don't know how to say it.
We all know I quit acting in 2018. So that's been going well for me as well.
You're doing terrible at it.
Yeah. I'm really... It's just like, I do think you get to a point, especially like when you're like us, Sarah, where you have been doing a thing for a really long time. But yeah, like things do shift as you have so many more things on your plate all the time now.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I just don't have the same kinds of ambition that I had when I was in my 20s. I care differently, or I care about different things. So
do you feel like for songwriting, that's like a...
I think there's Lorde just wrote this really amazing post about her new record. Did you read that?
Yes, I loved it.
It was so spectacular. But I do think I almost want to look it up. She says this incredible thing about teenagers. And how she they are the exalted beings in her universe. And she builds this shrine to them with her work. And teenagers sort of know something that children don't know yet. And they know the thing that adults forget. And I just thought that was so mind-blowingly brilliant. But I think that is about youth. I mean, obviously it's about youth. And I just don't know how to, I'm not sure what I'm tapping into in terms of that current of electric. It has a different tone or tenor at this age.
Right. The urgency almost of Busy, we were just talking about, Busy was saying that it embarrasses her to think about this, but there was a time when she would lay in bed as a teenager and be like, I'll die if I don't get to act. I'll just die, you know, and crying. Yeah.
I love you.
Sobbing. You just don't understand.
Yeah, but I certainly felt that too for making the things that I wanted to make. And I think that your need to do it, also informed by all of your experiences doing it, changes to be less urgent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's also if you get down to zero urgency, then do you no longer do that thing? That's where
you got to be a gardener. I think you got to go to the garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think just I posted this thing the other night when I was at the Olivia Rodrigo show, which is a feeling I had when I saw Harry Styles play. And I've had this feeling several times, through the eyes of through my own eyes, but being with my teenagers now, both of them were at the Olivia show, and it was so fucking cute. But the energy of what teenage, especially teen girls and young women.
Yeah.
And I said something about how pure they are, and they get just nothing but shit for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it is, as you get further and further from it, it becomes mythical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible for me to even remember it. In actuality, you know, but I love it so much, and I know it's so brief.
Yeah. It's touching the infinite. It's they're at this age, and there literally feels like there's nothing except possibility.
Right.
It's just one open universe of possibility. And part of what is so intoxicating about that time is all of the different projections that you create about what your life might look like and who you're going to become. And then eventually you are somebody. And most of the time it's not really who you thought you were going to become. And that doesn't even have to be a good or a bad thing. It's just the sort of bitter pill of reality. It just isn't, it's not as sweet as the dream in some ways. And then it's also sweeter in other ways, you know?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you as an artist, like finding your voice, like you've, Waitress to me is like such, and I can't wait to see the Interestings. I hope I get to come to some version of a workshop or something at some point. I hope you invite me.
For sure.
Just saying,
I will.
Here on this podcast. But because, I think that Waitress is just such like, it's literally so brilliant. that I've cried about how incredible it is. And like, it feels like such a pure, expression of that story and those characters, from you as a songwriter and like an artist and stuff. And since so much of your like early work, and I mean, I guess even Into the Chaos. Into the Chaos is the one that you did live too, right? Or yeah.
Yep.
So at the Hollywood Bowl. So close.
Hollywood Bowl.
Right before.
Deep history of that place together.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just think it's interesting and writing for our show, the songs that you've written as Dawn for our characters has been such like a channeling of that thing. And it's almost like the piece that maybe you're having an issue with right now in this second is the channeling of for yourself.
Totally.
Like your own muse.
That's Joe, my partner Joe is good at reminding me, like I've kind of been on assignment for like the last good many years, writing for Waitress or writing for a TV show, or I was working on an animated thing for a while, and they're just like writing for assignment, and I really loved it. I thought I would hate it actually, and then I really loved it. And now this is not really an assignment, and like my label, well, they're not gonna, bust down my door. Like they're gonna wait until the next record's ready, and there's, nothing to be done except just like kind of work diligently at trying to uncover what wants to be shared. So I think I'm getting closer, but I don't know. It's a weird time in the music industry to me, for me. I'm like, I don't know if I actually quite understand what my place is in it. So I just, not that matters. It just, maybe that just doesn't matter. That just feels like an old thought that I carry around.
Yeah. I like how you do think about it so much though. And I think it's so much easier to write for a character. It's so much easier to speak authoritatively about someone who's not real. And you can say, oh, this character would 100% say this. And it's just really easy to make a decision and to make a choice. And then sometimes I so identify really strongly with what you're saying, where you're trying to make a choice for your own self, but you're trying to let your authentic self present what the truth of the situation is, and it's not coming. And so then you're like, sometimes I feel like, who am I to speak for me? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to pull something out of myself or waiting for this thing to pop into my head. And I don't want to just make this like exterior choice for my interior and be like, you would say this, you would do this. I have sometimes even asked friends, like, what would I say in this situation? Like, what would I usually do?
Yeah, totally. Well, I also think when you're going through shit, it's just not the time when you have the best perspective. You're just like in process and having reactions and feelings and sort of the overwhelm of being inside of something that's intense is not the best time to like reflect on it. And can you name a time in the last 4 years that has not felt intense? Right. I can't.
Right. It's like, I can't remember. Is it Anne Lamott who has the thing that's like in Bird by Bird, the book about writing, where she's like, her advice is, it's best not to write about something until you've fully processed it.
Right.
Makes sense.
And it does make sense, but then it's also, to your point, Sarah, like, who the fuck has had time to process anything? Like, I know. We're just getting hit like in a consistent barrage, or just all the time. Like,
but like, what it's not like I have some delusion of the idea that that's going to shift at some point. Like that's life. That is life. It just happens everywhere, everything everywhere all at once. Like it's just
everything everywhere all at once. Yeah.
It's just that. So like to make peace with that part of it and then like kind of keep on living anyway. And yeah.
And creating anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's always really interesting to me that people that seemingly process things immediately and make things out of it. And then I wonder, I'm like, does it just seem immediate to me? You know what I mean? Like, is it really something that they've been working on?
I think it's probably very well intentioned and I'm being an asshole, but I just remember like in the pandemic when there were all these people like having a lot to say about it. And I'm just like, what could you possibly say about this already? Totally. What could you possibly have to say except how insignificant and small and humbled you are? Like, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. It feels like a lot of ego that is like dying to get back on the microphone.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right. And I was going to say, like, I guess people are, if you can, you're welcome to like make something immediately out of something. But I also want to see what happens in 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. I want to see what you have to say about it then. And I'm not going to be a jerk and like go compare and contrast like what you said in the moment, in a moment of bravado versus what you say upon some reflection. But it's been a rough time.
Yeah. I think we're the first ones to say that. Mm-hmm. Having a hard time. You heard it here first, folks.
Guys, just so you know.
It's been a wild time.
It's been a rough few years.
And in the midst of it, we got to do the most wonderful job together.
Unbelievably.
Oh, Athena Club. It's nice to be back in Athena's club.
Love Athena Club. Well, here's what I love. Freshly shaved legs.
Guess what I did last night? Guess what I did last night?
Just before you go to bed.
Yep.
Your smooth legs on those sheets. I
love it.
There's no feeling like it.
Well, first of all, Athena Club's award-winning TikTok viral razor kit is worth the hype.
Yeah.
And you need to try it to believe it. The razors glide so effortlessly. They've got 5 precision engineered blades. There's a very super moisturizing water activated serum with hyaluronic acid. Plus it has built-in skin guards that help prevent razor burn and reduce irritation. And I shaved my legs last night and they feel so soft. I was like, I need somebody to feel these legs.
I love it. You know, the 2 things that I care about are being frugal. Athena Club is a great deal. It's just $10. And also, I love how cute it is. It looks so cute in my bathroom, and it has a little magnetic holder that holds the razor up to dry after. It's perfect for me.
Which keeps it like hygienic.
Yes.
And so that your razor is not like always on your shower floor or it like
in a puddle.
Like in a puddle, which is the grossest.
Yeah.
And also, I of course love that it arrives directly at my door. That's my favorite
when you need it. Yes.
When I need it.
So checks all across the board. Athena Club has everything that I care about in a razor, and I love it so much.
I used it last night, and I was like, well, I'm excited to do this. So I did, and boy, oh boy, was I happy with my results. We talk about things we deserve today. I deserve smooth, soft legs.
And everyone listening, you deserve to upgrade your shaving experience.
You do. Are you ready? Ready to upgrade your shaving experience? Switch to the best razor on the market and show your skin that you care with Athena Club. Head over to athenaclub.com to try their award-winning razor and body products and get 20% off your purchase with the code BUSY at checkout. You can also find Athena Club razors at your local Target store, but get them from athenaclub.com and use our code BUSY at the checkout. Trust me, you're not going to want to look back. Happy shaving. Oh, wild grain. I did use the wild grain while my parents were in town because they were over at the house. We had a lot of cause for some fresh bread. It always makes me feel like I've really done something.
I'm like, I really did something here.
I really did something here, guys. I might have ordered everything else, but that bread makes the house smell great.
It does.
Everyone's
it feels
like,
homey.
Yeah. I mean, my mom knows the trick because she also gets wild grain. Guys, in case you've missed out, let me tell you, wild grain is the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads and fresh pastas and artisan pastries. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. There's no thawing required. And now you can fully customize your wild grain box. You can choose any combination of breads, pastas, or pastries and build a box of only breads if you want. Build a box of only pastas if you want, or only the pastries if you would like. Maybe
I want a box of each.
Or a box of each, or a box, or a mixed box, a combination, if you will. Which is what I always do mostly, unless I'm in a moment where I feel like I need more of the pasta because the kids go through the pasta so quickly. But I love it all. I love it all. And for a limited time, guys, you, our friend listening to this right now, can get $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box. Come on. When you go to wildgrain.com/busy to start your subscription, you heard me, free croissants in every box, $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/busy. That is wildgrain.com/busy, or you can use promo code busy at the checkout. I really love wild grain.
Me too.
You've had, I will say, Sara Bareilles, that you've had a couple dreamy things in the last, since I've known you personally. Because Into the Woods was like the greatest.
Yes. It was so fun. Amazing. You're talking outside of I'm like the thing that comes to my mind is just getting to do Girls 5 Eva.
What do you think? Do you think we're going to get to do more? What do you feel? What's your gut?
My gut is yes.
Me too.
My gut is yes. I think we know from behind the scenes that it was such an effort to move platforms.
Yeah.
And they invested such a tremendous amount of energy in making that happen. I just have a hard time believing that we wouldn't get at least another season.
And the response has been so great.
Yeah.
And like critically,
I think it's still finding its audience. But people just keep telling me how happy the show makes them.
Yes.
How joyful it is, how much fun they have watching it. And I just think that's I just know how much I value those shows for myself. It's so nice when you find something, including Joe and I are watching it again. It's so fun to watch. We just finished season 2 and we're watching it again. It's so fun.
Wait, let me ask you something. When you create stuff, what is your motivated? Do you think about your audience in terms of how it will be not received critically, but I mean, do you think about you hope that people feel a certain way, or do you know what I mean?
It's a good question. I think
you think about yourself only.
I think it's somewhere. It depends on the medium, what you're creating. I wouldn't even know how to consider an audience on something like Girls 5 Eva because I barely know where the camera is. So, but with my music,
oh God, you're so funny.
I try to actually just tell the truth. That's the thing I'm trying the hardest to do, is just to make sure that what I'm saying is what's true for me.
For you, right.
Yeah.
Your truth.
And then trusting that the more vulnerable and the more authentic I can be, I mean, the data, my personal data shows me that those are the things that connect the most. So that's kind of the litmus test for me, is just like, am I telling the truth?
Can I ask a question about telling the truth?
Yeah.
Is there ever a truth that you've been dancing around that you're just like, oh, I'm not ready to tell that truth?
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes those are songs that like haven't seen the light of day, or they get kind of obscured or masked a little bit. But yeah.
Whatever happened to that song you sent us? I loved that song.
Hands Off My Body.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the vault. I mean, it'll be on the next record.
Oh,
and I'm kind of dying to get it done because there are so many things like this fucking ruling in Arizona.
I can't even. I was in tears actually walking over here.
I'm sure.
I
just, there are so many different ways in which women are being assaulted. And I know we are of shared mind about this. It's a song for those listening who haven't heard it.
Most of us.
So everyone except for me, Renee,
Paula. For everyone,
your producer.
But I actually had originally written it after the protests in Iran, and then it started to just take on all of these other meanings, and all of the abortion conversation, and Roe v. Wade, and everything happening. I was just like, oh my God, women. They're coming for us always.
Never not
coming for us.
Mm-mm.
Oh, good. Well, I am glad to know that that's on the album. But I also was like, I feel like you should just release it tomorrow.
Yeah. I know. I think it needs finishing, and it needs a better recording, and then it would be ready to go. But yeah, I'm, just like get that.
I'll put it out on my Insta if you want. I'll release it for you tomorrow if you want. I'm happy to do it. I got it. Don't worry, guys.
Done. You honestly would get probably as many listens as I will get.
Stop it. You know what I love about you, Sara? I love your like more recent, like very vulnerability, like your very vulnerable Instagram posts and like stories and I love how you're like allowing, because I know you, and I love how it is really you. And I feel like a lot of the things that you are that we've been talking about just in this 23 minutes are a lot of the same things that like you've been talking about with the people that follow you on Instagram. And guys, don't obviously should, but a lot of it also has to do centering around like our relationship with ourselves, our bodies, our aging, our faces, our insecurities, and like our programming.
Yes.
Of women of this generation and this age. And I'm wondering how you've found it to be that open and share in that way.
I mean, I think this falls under that like personal data, is that there is a huge audience for that piece of the conversation, that like in light of the ways in which it can sometimes feel like everyone thinks this one way, there are still people just kind of having questions or just trying, like, to me, this whole conversation around like our aesthetic as women aging, not even aging, it's our aesthetic, our physical form. It feels like just another way that we are assaulted all the time.
100%.
There's just like such a deep, a profound trauma that is imposed on us all the time to tell us that like the subliminal, not so subliminal messaging is just like, whatever you are, it is not enough. It is not okay. Like it's, you don't
and whatever
have the
choice
right
you
thing.
make for yourself is not all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally,
Someone's going to have something to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was like when I like lost my shit. When I like went off on that podcast, on the Love It or Leave It podcast, which has like been shared a lot. Like my point was just like, there's no winning. Like we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't.
Totally.
And like, it's impossible to, I mean, whatever, Barbie. It's the Barbie.
I know. I was just thinking it's the Barbie monologue.
Right.
Yeah. It just does. It does feel impossible. And no one can say anything more cruel to me than I have said to myself. Like there is nobody as mean to me as I am to myself. And
it almost makes me laugh sometimes when people are like trolly and they're like, you know, you look old, and I'm like, LOL, try harder. Like you're gonna have to say something worse than that. I've said 9 worse things than that to myself today. I've also really been enjoying the Instagram posts too. I think, you know what I love about them is that it's you being honest and sort of sharing these stream of consciousness thoughts, but I'm just hearing from you, and I'm just hearing your thoughts, and it's not necessarily a back and forth conversation, because I think whenever women try to talk about these things, people are so quick to answer and just say, that's not true. You look great. You're this, or don't worry about, and it's just like, it's not genuine. It's not legit. It's not a real answer to what I'm saying. And I'm like allowed to say this.
Yeah. The person I think about the most on this particular topic, especially around like just body positivity, is Katie Storino. And I
love her.
Love her. She's right there. She lives right here. I actually think she's in Florida, but yeah.
She just has the best content around just the conversation, because it's so not about the judgment of whatever choices. Like, again, my fucking body, my choice. Whatever you decide to do is your choice. I feel like the thing that is insidious is the part that we ingest, where it's like, it's not okay for me to be what I already am. Like that's the thing that I want, that I would like to dismantle for myself. That like yesterday I went in and I just fucking bought bigger jeans. I finally just bought bigger jeans. I have gained weight. It's uncomfortable. I hate it. I'm just like, I wish it was different. And then I'm like, basically don't get out of my pajamas. Like, I deserve to wear pants. I deserve to wear pants. God. And I literally said to the saleswoman, I was like, I deserve comfortable pants. I deserve them. And the world deserves to see me in comfortable pants. And so I finally just bought bigger jeans. And Katie just did a post about this. She's like, I have a great trick for like getting into jeans that are just too small. Buy bigger jeans.
Yes.
Like, yes, that is the answer right now. That for me, that is the answer for me.
That is. And by the way, I just, as a, it's complicated for everybody,
Sure.
But I remember the first time, instead of being like, because I wrote about it a lot in my book, and I know that you also, I'm sure, with stylists when you were coming of age in this industry were shamed similarly for not fitting into the samples, right? But I remember it was Carla Welch actually, the first time when she was just like, the size doesn't fucking matter, but like break yourself of that idea. Like, who cares? We're just looking for stuff that looks great on you and you feel great in. Like, don't, because she saw like I would like look at the size before I would try it on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she's like, stop. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
There's one leggings company I love that they just name the leggings like your Rebecca size and your Jennifer size.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I just know I'm a Jennifer. Like, I don't even know like where it fits.
Oh my God, wait, that's really cute and funny.
I think it's
That is
so
really
funny. But it's so messed up because well, first of all, sizing it's just random. It could be that random.
Completely irrelevant.
And I can't even buy pants now because they switched from you're not like a size 10 anymore. You're like a size 27 or something. I don't even know how that works, and I'm just not buying pants. Yeah, I'm like
it's confusing.
I'm never learning how that works. It's the metric system to me.
No, because also the numbers don't even it just doesn't. It's not actually in correlation to any kind of size anymore. Like that you buy a 27 or a 29 or a 31 or whatever, a 37. It doesn't have a correlation. It's insane.
I'm glad you got pants though.
Me too.
You do
I'm wearing
deserve
them right now, guys.
You do, and you seem so comfortable.
Yes. You love them.
Maybe we should do away with the whole thing. Maybe it's worth it just to have someone non-judgmentally look at you and bring you a pair of unlabeled pants.
Remember that lady, that bra lady we went to when we were doing Busy Tonight, who was incredible. And she just was she blew everyone's minds because she just measured us all and then just disappeared and came back with 47 bras for each of us. And they all fit perfectly. And then I was looking at the sizes and I was like, I don't even know what this means. I was this has never been a size I've worn. But it was just she's well, that's just what's going to fit you. I just know what's going to fit you. And this is it. We need that bra lady everywhere. And we need the jean lady. We need it all.
We need it all.
I don't know. It's not even destigmatized. It's just get us out of this old
disconnect it. Disconnect it from this weird
worth.
Number or this worth that we put, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Because so I feel good about a certain size of pants that I was raised to believe is good, and so I jam myself into those pants. And then I'm uncomfortable, so the look on my face is misery. And also, the pants don't look good on me because they're not meant to be on me. They're not for me, And it's just I need it disconnected. I need it to be disconnected. That's why I'm never going to learn the new pants system, because I'm it's just not for me to know. It's not.
You just be a Jennifer.
I'm just a Jennifer. A Jennifer. That's it.
And nobody's mad at a legging because they're just soft. I sang a song to myself the other day. I was like, in a world like this, we all deserve comfortable pants. You know what I mean? Comfortable pants.
Emily Beebe and I have a whole thing about comfortable pants.
No, what is it?
Obviously we do.
Of course you do.
We have comfortable pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have comfortable. I cannot sit.
Soft pants or comfortable pants.
If the inseam is too short or the crotch is too, and you're cutting up into your fucking vajige, nobody's comfortable. I'm angry. I'm cranky. I'm not my best self.
No,
I have a high butt crack, so my butt crack's always coming out of the tops of pants that are for other people, and I'm this is for a low butt crack girl. I need a back that goes up higher. Sorry to say. It's
not sorry to say. Sorry to say.
People make a lot of pants. There should be pants for everyone, pants for all.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Katie. And I love that she gets on and is hey, you're certain brand, you make these really cute pants that I would love to put on, but they don't work for me and mostly other people. So have you ever thought about making them? I don't know. It just makes sense. I'm so proud of you, Sara Bareilles, for getting new pants.
Me too.
Thank you. Me too. I encourage anybody out there listening who's just been really fighting with the pants that are in your wardrobe. You can go to a Marshall's. You can go to a Ross Dress for Less.
Mm-hmm. Or a Poshmark, guys.
Or a Poshmark. Yeah, if you want to.
You can't try them on with Poshmark, but you can return a lot of times. Or
Or you can
whatever.
resell them,
What?
You can resell them. Hopefully you got a good deal.
Well, this brings me to, my issue currently that I literally was just thinking about before I left the other house to come to this house, which is that, you guys, I have so many sizes of pants and so many pants that it is now I'm like, I need a system for I basically need somebody to come over and like merchandise them by size and fit and then label it so that I know, because I'm a fluctuator, I'm a mage fluctuator. So I do have, and I believe in buying new pants.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Buy the pants that fit.
Place to be. Yeah.
But you could also probably come to my house and shop.
I truly should have.
For a while. Because like a lot of my friends do that as well. I've got sizes ranging, you guys can't even believe.
From seventh grade to today. Busy still has shorts from like seventh grade.
Shorts my seventh grade shorts, I still fit, but they go from, it depends. They're either high-waisted or hip huggers, depending.
Oh my God.
Never owned one fucking pair of those. Never had a hip hugger.
I'm just saying the paint, like depending on where we're at.
My butt crack does not allow for a hip hugger.
Oh no. By the way, low rise is not for most people, I would say.
Not for most people. Sarah, I love the Instagram post you also did recently, speaking of fashion, where you were like talking about sometimes you get the clothes for who you are and sometimes you buy the top for who you think you are. Do you know?
Yeah.
And your face was so funny when you're like posing in this top that you bought in a moment.
What was I thinking? Yeah, I was. I'm on a journey, guys.
Well, when you tour and stuff, do you find that, like, what is your vibe when you tour? Do you just have like your outfits for the shows that like from a stylist, right?
Usually do like a fitting with a stylist, and I've used different people over the years, and the show clothes travel in their own case, and they're all brought in and out of the dressing rooms. And then I get to the show and then I decide. They're usually like for the Amidst the Chaos tour, I found for that, we did a lot of suits. We did a lot of like kind of just like, I wanted to feel really powerful. And I love a suit. I wear them all the time because I just like how I feel in them.
Yeah.
We did some dresses too, but yeah, we just like kind of had a whole big situation.
Oh, Blue Land. Blue Land is the best, and here is why. Your toilet is disgusting, and Blue Land makes it less gross.
That is the most honest jingle that's ever been written. Your toilet is way grosser than you think.
It is. It's disgusting. And here's the deal. Bacteria and viruses hang around in your toilet even after multiple flushes. Gross.
Yeah.
The easiest way to clean your toilet, Blue Land's sustainable toilet cleaner tablets. You drop it in, you watch it fizz. You brush it a little, you flush it a little. It's that simple, guys. I'm in. I love it so intensely, and it smells so good.
It smells so good.
And you don't scrub. There's no scrubbing required. And honestly, sometimes I don't even brush.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness, because I just feel like I'm personally meant for other things in this world. Then, I'll scrub it a little.
Yeah.
But
this is, most of the time, I use it so consistently now that I feel like it keeps my toilet bowl. I'm not kidding. You guys, this is like a very, very real testimonial. I feel like it keeps the toilet bowl so clean that I don't even feel like I have to scrub it that much.
Yeah. Like even my guys use it. That's how I know it's good, is that they sneak in and they pilfer my Blue Land tablets for their toilet. So that's how I know.
Own.
Yeah, I know. I will.
Then it's time, Casey. In case you don't use any other Blue Land products, which you should, I do, in every room of the house has Blue Land. Blue Land is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials to be better for you and the planet. But it'll deliver the same powerful clean. It's amazing. Blue Land uses no single-use plastic in any component, from bottles, the tablets, wrappers, or shipping. The tablet packaging is fully compostable. Blue Land products are effective and affordable. The toilet tablets are the best, proven to work on a range of toilet stains, rust, mineral deposits, limescale, hard water. Honestly, it just like keeps my toilet looking great. Here at Kismet, it's an older toilet. I use it in the townhouse on like the new fancy Japanese toilet. Like, you know what I mean? Like you use it. It's like works great on everything.
It's for every toilet.
And I get savings by buying refills in bulk. And you can also set up a subscription. Their subscriptions are customizable and convenient, so you never run out of your most used products. Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine, including Casey's, and it should be including yours. So, guys, Blue Land has a special offer for you. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/best. You don't want to miss this. blueland.com/best for 15% off. That's blueland.com/best to get 15% off, guys. Oh, base.
I'm getting ready to pack up all of my base bags to come out to you.
I'm like, this is really your moment to shine in this ad. Is your base ready?
It's all ready. I have it all laid out and ready to put my clean clothes in. I'm so excited for my convertible weekender bag because I can put 2 pairs of shoes in the bottom, tons of clothes, and my laptop, everything I need to come stay with you for a while. And then the shoe compartment zips all the way off, so I have a nice bag to use when I'm in the city.
Yes, that is, to me, the best thing. Like, you don't have to worry about packing another bag. Or like before I had the weekender with the convertible zip off shoe pouch, like I would get to a place and I'd be like, oh no, I have to buy another canvas bag somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, you don't. You have your base. You're going to be fine. Guys, base was created by actress Shay Mitchell, who I just saw her in a thing like talking about base, and she's so cute. I just love her.
I love her. Shay Mitchell, I love you.
I mean, I've like met her once or twice, but I don't really know her, but I just love her. It makes so much sense because as actresses, you travel a lot. She was on a show that was like in Canada.
Right.
I believe. And like, she just was like, I need to have better luggage. I need 360-degree gliding wheels. I need a cushioned handle. I need a built-in weight indicator. I need washable bags for my dirty clothes. I need interior pockets. I need multiple sizes and colors. I need it to look super functional and adorable. And that's what she has delivered on. I'm not kidding. It's like
she did it.
She really did it. She really did it. Sometimes I see, brands from actresses or actors, and I'm like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? What is your connection to that?
They're so thoughtfully designed, and I honestly can't think of an improvement that I would make to the set that I have.
And this one, I'm like, Shay Mitchell, please continue making bags and travel essentials for the rest of your life because you've got it down. It's so good. Guys, whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through security, Base has your personal items covered. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/best. Go to basetravel.com/best for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIS travel.com/best. But do you ever find that you're like in a new place and you're like, you see some fashion trend that's happening in that place and you're like, I'm going to do it. And you purchase the fashion trend that's happening. Like,
I'm sure I have. I'm trying to think. I can't imagine it's gone well for me.
It never goes. I don't think it goes well for anyone, I'm going to say. Like, I remember being on like a yoga retreat in Hawaii when I was
This is great.
This is the new me.
The new me.
Like store in town, and it had like the pants, and I'd been seeing everybody wearing the pants all week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm wearing these when I get back to LA all the time. It's my new style. And I never put them on again.
I'm such a new year, new me kind of girl, like going back to elementary school. So I think that I've tried to reinvent myself so many times. And I always put so much stock in like, if I get this sweater, I'll be this new, and I never wear the thing more than one time, or sometimes never, which is like, it's kind of a bummer, but it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about like making decisions for your own self. And sometimes we make a decision that isn't really clearly is not really yourself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't bring yourself
somebody else. Totally.
Yeah. to commit in the moment.
I'm working on just getting dressed in clothes. I've done it now 2 days in a row, getting dressed in clothes.
Wait, why don't you do one of those challenges on Instagram?
What is the challenge?
Oh, I loved it. Katie, our other friend, Katie Hazelton, did it. And was it 72 days that she did? That was insane.
That she got dressed?
That she it was like no purchasing anything for those days. Like, and just
shopping your
closet and like coming up with new outfits and like putting them together every day. And some days her outfits were very cash, or even like a workout thing or whatever. But she was like posting them pretty consistently. I mean, she was doing it very consistently. I don't know if she made it the whole 72 days. I think she did. I have no idea.
No, I don't want to. That sounds awful to me. But I wish her luck, and that sounds great.
I also do I had that closet organizer.
You have the cutest style, though. It is so fun to watch you get dressed. I get such pleasure out of watching. I mean, not physically watching you get dressed, but I'm sure that'd be fun too because
it is very exciting. I've gotten
stories
to do it.
And,
it's a lot. But, I mean, I change my outfit like 3 times a day. I'm on my second outfit.
Just thinking, yeah, I just don't care. It's the eclipse. It's the eclipse all over again. I just don't care.
It's the eclipse all over again. But it's not, you don't have to care. And you always look great anyway. I do think that's true.
I don't think that's true, but I think that's okay. I don't have to. Other people can look great all the time. I just don't care. I just literally, I can't even manufacture pretending to care. I should, what I should do is to take 72 fucking pictures of myself the way I actually go out in the world. I look like I'm going to a ball in my own opinion right now. I'm wearing a polka dot blouse and a necklace.
Yeah.
And I have mascara on. I'm I look incredible. Are you kidding me? This is the fucking best I've ever looked. But normally I'm going to start doing more pictures of just how I actually go out in the world. That'll be my answer.
Start a challenge, just us, the 3 of us.
I would love to.
It's just hashtag how I go out in the world.
Yes, I'm trying not to wear anything for the next few days because I'm going to New York to start.
Naked? You want to just stay naked?
I mean, I'm probably going to wear for 72 hours this old Prince t-shirt and these same leggings and be really gross before I get on that plane because I don't want to use any of my laundry. So it's the
How long are you going to New York for?
She's coming to do the QVC show, so a month.
Oh, it's a big, long time.
Yeah,
okay.
so for I can't afford to burn through any of my clothes right now.
Yeah,
so I'm just I'm going to be wearing my slippers and a t-shirt out to CVS a lot over the next few days.
Send us those pics.
What's the worst thing you've ever worn out in public?
What isn't the worst thing? I usually, whatever I've gone to sleep in is what I'm doing my day in. And then sometimes I'll change into different pajamas to go to bed. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just go right back to bed. It's just me.
Oh my gosh. Well, are your pajamas sweatpants and a t-shirt or are they full? Because I've worn
negligee. I just really operate in it's usually sweats and a t-shirt.
When I lived on the East Coast, I miss a big coat because there were many times when I would just pull my pajama bottoms, with funny girl doodles on them or whatever, under my big winter coat and just be let's call it a day. That's every college class I ever went to was with full on pajamas 100%. Underneath. Yeah. But
that's why winter is a girl like me's best friend. It's just that winter coat is you don't got to wear a bra. You don't got to have underwear on. You don't have to do anything.
Just footwear. That's the only call you have to make.
And really it's just Uggs. You could just have Uggs on. You can essentially be in slippers walking around the world.
You guys you can't see my face, but I'm a little horrified. I'm just a little bit like my face is just frozen. Listeners at home, I'm just a little bit like, okay.
Because Busy's like 3 outfits per day, and Sarah and I are erring on the side of 0 outfits per day, even if you have to go out.
0.5 outfits per day.
I just like, you know my thing with it, don't you guys? I've talked about it.
Well,
yeah, but it makes
again.
you feel...
No, just that like, I was like always like very uncomfortable as myself, like just very uncomfortable. As a kid, I always felt other, different, not cool enough. I couldn't, like my family, I wasn't, we were fine, but it wasn't, my parents weren't like, I grew up in like a wealthy area, but my parents weren't like that kind of person.
Right.
So I didn't have a lot of like money for clothes, like expendable money for clothes or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, that was the kind of thing the vibe was for the rich kids, like the new Guess jeans or the cool thing. Like I like bought my clothes at Costco and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, like people do. Yeah. And then when I like got into high school, but I loved acting and I had been like in all the plays and stuff in elementary and middle school. And so then when I got to high school, I just like changed the way I thought about it. And I was like, I feel so uncomfortable. I don't want to be at school. Like I feel so, I don't know. It was just hard for me. So I was like, I'm just going to look at my clothes like like a costume that I'm going to wear every day. And so then I just started like putting together these like costumes, which some of which were actual costumes. Like I just was looking through because I have the boxes of clothes that were in the storage unit that were like things I've saved since high school. They're right back there because I was trying to show Birdie and she had no interest in it, and that was fine. I mean, I get it. Maybe someday she will. But I have like an actual like waitress uniform that I used to wear to school. Like I have like bowling shirts and things. And so I just like, that was how I wrapped my head around clothes and like putting together these outfits and then from there, like when I met Michelle Williams on Dawson's Creek, and she had like real vintage and like fancy stuff. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Like I've never spent more than, whatever.
Yeah.
$50 on like a dress or whatever. And then she took me shopping and I have the dress that I bought and it was like, I don't know, $250 or something like that. Wow. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. But that really opened the fucking floodgates.
Because you love clothes.
I love it. I love it so much.
And I think that like, some people love it. I follow people who love it on Instagram. Like I think it's really fun to watch people like what they put together. I just don't.
Sometimes I do struggle with an everyday,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So. I'm always repeating the 1990s L'Oreal slogan, like, because I'm worth it. So I'm always trying to tell myself, like, just like you deserve pants, you deserve jeans. I'm like, I'm worth it to get dressed. But then I'm like, I mean, is this day worth it? Let's,
Well, that's the real question, I guess. Well, Sarah, you know what I'd love to ask you?
Sure. No, I don't. Tell me.
I have lots of things that I'd love to ask you. But because this is the thing that we do on the podcast, but we mostly do it like very at the end of the podcast, but I want to ask you anyway. What do you think you're doing your best at this week?
I'm doing my best at like, there's this mantra in meditation, which is about just you begin again. That like your mind wanders in meditation and just very gently coming back to begin again. I'm doing a good job beginning again because I kind of got derailed last week and got really just went into a bit of a tailspin about all kinds of stuff. And so I'm just beginning again, finding more joy. I had a great day yesterday and I was writing about it this morning. I do, there's a creative workbook called The Artist's Way. And one of the things they tell you to do is do these things called morning pages. So you sit down and it's just a brain dump in the morning. And I was writing this morning about yesterday. I was like, I had such a good day. And I was trying to understand why it was a good day. And it was really basic. I like moved my body. I had meaningful conversations with people I love. And I did something for myself. Bought pants that fit. Like that was like enough. It felt like a great day. I had a great day. And so that's what I'm doing my best at right now.
Ooh, I love that.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one.
Notice I didn't say do anything for anybody else. I'm generous. No, I did. But I also think a main piece of that is having meaningful relationship. Like people in your life that are real deal soulmate friends and collaborators and partners and whatever.
Which I would argue, by the way, is doing something for someone else because it's for those people. I'm sure it's meaningful to them as well.
It certainly is for me. I'm like, oh my God, those people like change my life. So
yes,
I sure as shit better be changing theirs. That's right. Yeah.
You're gonna do you know what the trajectory is for the Interestings? Like where are you guys at with it?
Probably, we're gonna aim for a workshop of it at some point this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully summertime. But that's still kind of TBD because I'm the one who probably has the most heavy lifting to do at this point. Sarah Rule, who is the playwright and my collaborator on this, has done an incredible job working very quickly and having like a beautiful draft pulled together that would be great. And I have a lot of songs to write. But I have some songs that I am so proud of and so excited for people to hear. I just was so moved by this material. This book is unbelievably beautiful. And it's about a group of friends who meet at a summer arts camp. And did you guys go to camp growing up?
No,
did you do
I never
camp?
did.
Neither did I. It's definitely more of an East Coast thing, I think.
It's also like a little bit of like middle class and above.
Yeah, I was going to say, or people that had like extra money.
Yeah, totally.
Families that had extra money.
I didn't go to summer camp either, but I really relate to this. It's just kind of about arrested development and this thing we're talking about, these teenagers who like are facing a life of infinite possibility and then navigating what happens when you're reconciling who you thought you would become and who you actually are. And like jealousies and what does it mean to be talented and what does it mean to be special, and it's about grief and loss. It's just very human. These characters are so vivid and so beautiful, and I love the themes of this book so much, and I can't wait to share this with a bigger audience.
I can't wait either. I love the book so much. Sarah Rule is so great.
She's
and
unbelievable. Yeah,
unbelievable. So that's really exciting. That's something to look forward to.
Yes. Is there something that you feel like you thought you would be that scratches at you?
I mean, my life doesn't look anything like what I imagined. And in so many ways, it's like so beyond my wildest dreams. Like I love my life. I'm so grateful. I mean, I thought I would be married with kids by I remember it's like, I'll get married at 26. I'll start having kids at 28. And I thought I'd have 3 kids because I grew up one of 3. And, it's just not the shape my life took. And yeah, there's things, that kind of haunt me about that. But again, trying to surrender and stay present with what is in front of me and what is unfolding. I went and saw a wedding venue that I liked.
Oh my gosh.
That's so exciting.
exciting.
Yeah. So there's lots of fun things.
I was ready to plan Sarah's wedding and just
literally, I was like busy planned it on a phone call on my way upstate. They're like, you're going here and then you're going there. It's like,
come on, let's just do it.
That's so exciting. Wait, Sarah, when I was getting married, I did get married when I was younger, but my husband and I have been together since we were teenagers. But my friend's father had planned a family vacation and then he had to bail out because he's like a businessman. And so my friend was like, I have this family vacation. My dad said I could bring 2 friends instead of my family. Do you want to go on this cruise? And I was like, I would love to, except for I'm in the middle of planning my wedding and it's kind of like crunch time. And my husband was like, babe, this is once in a lifetime free vacation. Go on the vacation. I can handle going to see the wedding venues. And I was like, this is so generous of you. This is why I love you. This is why I want to marry you. All you need to remember is that I want an October wedding. This was in July.
Oh, God.
I went on a cruise, came home a week later, and my husband was like, babe, I found the best place. It was getting booked up fast, so I just went ahead and made the call, and I put down a deposit, and so we got it. October wedding, and I was like, great. And he was like, so we just need to really hustle and get ready to get married in a couple months. And I was like, no, I meant October of next year. And he was like, oh, no, it's October of this year. That's when we're getting married.
Wait, I didn't know that.
It was an amazing. Was it in some ways like kind of a blessing? Like
it was such a blessing because we just had to let everything go that wasn't important. I drew our invitations because at that point it wasn't even possible to get someone to make invitations for us. So I hand drew our invitations and we like photocopied them at my job and sent them out. Like
that is
everything.
So cool.
Everything was so slapdash and wild, but it wound up being great. And like, thank God I didn't have a year and 2 months to obsess over the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you that your relationship with your partner, Joe, is like, it really is couple goals, I feel like, as an outside observer. It makes me so happy to see your happiness.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. I mean, we have all kinds of gunk and shit that we get through all the time. But I will say it is like what I think the couple goals thing is like having a partner that's just like willing to sit in the muck with you. You're like, we're not going anywhere and this is a hard moment. My therapist always says this really cool thing about heat and like that the actual things need to cook. The alchemy doesn't change unless things cook.
Yeah.
And I think it's really easy to avoid those hot moments, like when you're in conflict, because who fucking likes conflict? But if you have a partner that's willing to like withstand some of that heat with you, I think you usually can get to a better place. Yeah, we argued yesterday.
Well, I mean, arguing's that it's good. I'm glad that you're honest about that, and
I've been in relationships where we didn't argue, and those were the least healthiest. Those were terrible relationships,
and it's scary. I think because you're like, I don't. Those are the relationships where I feel like I would find myself being like, "Penny for your thoughts. What are you thinking?"
Yeah.
And
God,
that's like,
no.
That's such a wild place to be.
Yeah. No,
I think.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
Well,
not for me.
Congrats on going to see some wedding venues and getting jeans. What a big week.
What a big week.
And I'm coming to do your show.
I know.
Can't wait.
Excited. I think we're going to have fun.
How's the prep going?
We're going to have fun.
It's going. It's like, I'm trying to remind myself to have fun. And like, this is my dream. This is what it's my dream to do. But it's also like time is a factor and it's happening very fast. So
it's happening fast. And also like.
It's like your wedding.
It is like your wedding.
Exactly.
But it's also like all things, it's our dream and things that we've been working towards, and also complicated because
We don't have a private plane, we don't have infinite resources and
we're not like,
time
it's not like we were handed the, like a staff of, here's 20 writers and here's like, it's literally like us.
Yeah. So it's a scrappy operation.
It's a very, I don't know. I think you and I thrive in that arena. Scrappiness.
I like to work like that because I just think it's like, well, you have to be thoughtful about what you're doing and you have to be intentional, and it's a challenge. And like, if you can pull something off in a small way that makes people feel a certain way, makes people laugh, or makes people feel seen, or makes people feel less lonely, then that's everything. Like, that's all the talent I could ever ask for in this world,
Yeah. That's really nice. And I think that's true.
But also, it would be nice to tell someone that you're sending a private plane to fly them to come be on your show. But, that's nice too. But since we don't have that, focusing on the other. We're so excited to have you on that show. Thank you for agreeing to do it.
Very excited. Mm-hmm. I will not be in pajamas.
You can wear pajamas if you want. Maybe we can even get you
clothes,
some.
Guys, I'm wearing real clothes for you.
All right. Okay.
Whatever
you want.
Now all of a sudden I've got some ideas, Casey. that revolve around soft pants.
Oh, girl.
Cozy soft pants. Birdie actually knows, like, if we get home from dinner or something and she's like, oh, let's watch that thing. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, soft pants. And I'm like, yeah.
No one is sitting anywhere on a couch.
Yeah, girl. I got to go put on soft pants.
Stiff jeans or something?
No. Get out of here.
Also I think I've also told this story, but about when my husband and I were first dating, when we were in college, he was like, I feel very sick. I think I have to go to the hospital. And I was like, oh my God, okay, let's get you back to your dorm room and like lay down and see if you feel any better. And if you still feel bad, I'll bring you to the hospital. So we went back to his dorm room and I convinced him to change into sweatpants. He's not a soft pants guy. And then immediately he was like, I feel better. And I was like, your pants were too tight. You never felt that feeling before?
You would gas.
And he was like, no, I never felt that before. And I was like, well, it must be nice.
Welcome to the soft pants brigade. Yeah.
Bless. What would men do if they were forced to wear like shapewear for one day?
Oh my gosh.
More wars than there already are.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ. You're not wrong.
shapewear, it's not a joke. It's not I don't think it's something to be taken lightly. I've seen many a housewife almost pass out from a shapewear incident. So
all right. Well, listen, we'll let you go back to the rest of your day.
I love you both.
I love you.
We love you. It's always so nice to see your face, and I'm so happy for your Instagram presence because I just feel like I'm getting to know you, not as well as Busy, but like it's just nice to see you there. You're doing good things on there.
Yeah,
so much. Back at you both. And I can't wait. I'll see you in real life very soon.
Very
so
shortly.
Soon. We'll see you in like a week.
Yay!
Yay! Okay.
Thanks,
bye, Sarah.
Bye. Thanks, Sarah. Bye. The nicest.
I know, the nicest.
I always want to sing hiya.
Hiya. You know, guys, I've talked about it before. A lot of children's vitamins are basically just candy. They're just candy.
Just junk.
They're just junk. And I learned that the hard way when I had given Bernie a lot of gummy vitamins before I took her to preschool in the morning thinking I was doing something good for her. And then she had 10 cavities.
Oh.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I felt like a bad mom. I'm not a bad mom. I just didn't know that typical children's vitamins can be filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, gummy junk that like gets stuck in their teeth. But it's why Haya was created It's a pediatrician approved superpower chewable vitamin. And while most children's vitamins can have up to like 5 grams of sugar, Haya is made with 0 sugar, 0 gummy junk, but it tastes great. It's perfect for picky eaters. It fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide a full body nourishment for the kids with a yummy taste that they're gonna love. And it is pressed, Haya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamins D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support all kinds of things that your kids need. Help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, general health and well-being.
The kids can personalize the bottles, which kids love, and it comes right to your door.
Well, for sure.
So you don't have to remember to head out and pick it up.
You don't, and you won't, because it'll just be there, which is the best. It's also designed for kids of all ages, so, don't think I haven't popped a Haya or two. You know what I mean? We have worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. Oh, my goodness.
That's a lot.
50% off is a lot. 50% off your first order. To claim the deal, you got to go to hayahealth.com/busy. To claim this deal, you got to go there. It's not available on the regular website. Go to hayahealth.com/busy and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Oh my gosh, the kitties have been so happy. They really have.
Because you've been feeding them Smalls?
The kitties have been so happy with the Smalls that they've been getting. And they've also been so happy because Birdie was home and was giving them extra kitty time.
Aww.
Guys, I love cats. I love our cats. Our cats are almost 8, which is crazy.
That's amazing.
And we tried Smalls and now we're in. We're hooked. We love it. The kitties love it so much we have to separate them at mealtime. Because they are just like, they will go for each other's Smalls. They will go to try to eat it. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients that you would just like find in your fridge. But it's delivered right to your door. There's no prep. It is so good and so healthy for them. Also, I have to say, just like the cat's breath is really good.
Oh, right.
Smalls was started back in 2017 by just a couple dudes, which I love this, cooking cat food in small batches in their home for their friends. And then
That's so
just a few
cute.
short years later, they are now serving millions and millions and millions of meals to cats across the U.S. We love Smalls. The team at Smalls is so confident that your cat is going to love their product. You can try it risk-free. That means they will literally refund you your money if the cat doesn't want to eat the food. But they will. I'm telling you, I have picky eaters and they love it. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/best. Use promo code BEST at the checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. It's the best offer you're going to find, but you got to use the code BEST for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code BEST for 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com/best. Here's what's happening in Arizona, just real fast. We'll fill everybody in.
Yes.
It'll be in all the newses if you pay attention to the newses. The Supreme Court of Arizona, the Arizona Supreme Court, decided to enforce the 1864 ban on abortion. That is, if you're keeping track, 50 years before Arizona became a fucking state. They ruled in favor. It's a total abortion ban. The judge, John R. Lopez IV, wrote, in light of their opinion, physicians are now on notice that all abortions except those necessary to save a woman's life are illegal. The law goes into effect in 45 days. Arizona already had a restricted, 15-week abortion law.
Right.
It's unconscionable. The fact that this is a law from before Arizona was a state, when there was a civil war happening, when women, couldn't vote.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a lot. And it's your home state, which
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So there's a possibility that they'll be able to amend the state's constitution in November, because Arizona for abortion access has collected enough signatures to get the measure on the ballot. They have gotten over 500,000 signatures, which is over 120,000 more signatures than they need, with months to go before the deadline, which is July 3rd. I'm actually curious if they'll continue to gather signatures, because I would imagine that they would get a shit ton more.
Yeah.
And what it would do is the amendment to the state's constitution would protect abortion rights in the state constitution until fetal viability, after which someone could end pregnancy if their life, physical or mental health was endangered. So here's the one thing that I'll say, that you better believe this fucking election matters.
Yeah.
The Senate seat in Arizona is up for grabs.
Right.
Sinema has decided not to seek re-election. Insane fucking Trumper insurrectionist. I don't know. Is she an insurrectionist? Defender of the insurrection, Carrie Lake is running. She supports the ban from 1864, saying that it was a great law. And Ruben Gallego is running against her, and we're hopeful that he will be able to defeat her. She's an actual crazy person, but that hasn't stopped people before. See Trump. But I was like walking over here crying, because I had gotten the text from many people.
Right.
And obviously, it's like where I grew up, where I had an abortion when I was a teenager. And, but and also, my niece and nephew were there. My sister's there.
Right.
And lots of my friends are there, and their kids and teenagers and people I know and people I don't know. And that's the thing. It's like, it's my parents were here, visiting.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about. And I didn't even want to talk about this. I didn't want to I was like, we've been such a fucking bummer recently. We've been a bummer. It's like, let's talk about the eclipse. Let's talk about the earthquake.
Oh my God.
And then I'm just like, but also I've been really trying. I sometimes fall back on just really bad habits. with my family, like we all do. Like we were kind of talking about that with Sarah. And I've been really trying not to do the thing, where I like become a fucking petulant teenager with my parents.
Sure.
I'm a 44-year-old woman, busy as time. And the one time I got kind of like real pissy was my mom was talking about a few of her friends who are Trumpers. And she was saying something like, well, I won't have the conversation. It's just da-da-da-da-da. And I just like, I lost it. And I'm like, it's not fair for me to, because she's doing the best she can, my mom. And like, I understand it. But like, it also drives me fucking crazy because it's just it's like it's exactly what gets us here.
Right.
Are people saying things like, well, I just can't have that conversation with my X, Y, or Z.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, you got to have the fucking conversations, guys. Right. I'm sorry. You have to tell people this is like this is important. And that we have to care about one another, right?
Well, it's so hard, right? Because you think that, I think that people think, well, this is me being caring in a way and not writing someone off because of their beliefs or their convictions. I mean, Busy, when I was a kid, my grandmother took care of me. My Nana who was my caretaker while my parents were working. And I remember I never learned much in the way of manners, but even back then in the 80s, I was always told you never discuss politics or religion.
Politics or money.
Or money. Yes.
I was always told politics or money.
Okay, politics or religion are things that we just don't even touch. So I think that, obviously, if my grandmother was saying that to me in the 80s, I'm sure your parents' parents were saying that to them. They said it to you. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, well, people are in their own bubbles, and I don't say that with any judgment or hostility. It's just that we only know our own experience and we only know our own beliefs and our own level of courage to speak up. And even like safety is probably the wrong word, but there's like probably people in your life that it's safe to talk with about these things, even if you disagree. And then other people where that wouldn't be safe at all in terms of like your relationship with that person. It could be like a deal breaker so it's a big question, really, and this goes back to all the way the beginning of the podcast. We used to talk to Shantira about this all the time, about like, when is it time to just like call it and pull the plug on your relationship with a person? Or does it behoove us to try to talk to people and get them to see like the point of thinking differently? It's just a really big question. It's a really big question about like what's the most I'm always asking myself what's the most effective thing to do, but also B, I'm wondering, are people asking like how much of this can I tolerate? And what I always come back to is like, I put so much consideration into what someone will think of what I say. And then I realize that they're just saying whatever fucking thing willy-nilly that they think. And they're not thinking for 1 second about what I would think at all clearly and don't even know me really.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
When you get that realization.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of like, oh, well, then I guess, I don't know, what is even the value of this relationship? That's me personally. But like, I don't know. It's, I definitely have people in my family that I think I'd be happy to learn that they were politically apathetic as opposed to like what I suspect they really think, But I don't always dig, and I don't really ask because we're not that close anyway. So it'd be a weird thing to ask. But they are people that are still somehow connected to me. And I'm like, how can you even, like, how can you know and like me and love me and care about the things I've done and still think this? You know? And so that's where I'm like really proud of the younger generations where they're like, this is not okay. And like, we're not going along to get along. And like, maybe you should have some pause about some of the things that you think and say.
Yeah.
You know, but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I get everything you were saying to your mom, and I also kind of understand how she knows these people. I mean, it's not a shock.
Right.
It's not a shock. You know? And I'm sure it tears her up too, you know, wondering whether she's doing the right thing. I'm sorry that shitty news came today. I
know, me too. So I think Birdie's going back. It's been a difficult few weeks, you know, and
yeah.
I just, God.
Yeah. What is that like when Birdie, are you getting more used to it, or is it just as difficult every time?
I mean, I think it's difficult like all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It hasn't gotten easier now. She just is like, it's just, the transitions are hard, like always for kids.
Yeah.
Well, they're hard for me. What am I saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to go, even like you know, when I was in LA, that was like, it was weird. And like leaving there was weird. And I don't know. I just like, it's tough. And I know, and I think she feels really like pulled between two things. Like on one hand, I think she is having a good experience and like made some really great friends and like is learning a lot about whether or not she would put it this way. Like, I think she's learning a lot about herself and about the world and all of these things. And then on the other hand, I think she's just like, ugh, I don't want this. I want to just like be home, have my mom make me the food that I want and bring it to me on a platter. Wait on me, hand and foot. I'll do my laundry.
Yeah.
Which also I get.
How will you feel if she decides not to go back to boarding school? You're probably like have mixed emotions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or will you just be stoked? You'll just be thrilled.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I can't. You know what, Casey? We have a show to make. You and me. I can't even fucking concern. I cannot
cross that bridge when we come to it.
I'm not even kidding you. I can't concern myself with it right now. We like had a talk before she left, and we're like, "You're gonna like. It's so close. You're gonna finish out this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a fucking insane year for her for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Guys, we didn't talk about it, but Mark's dad passed away a couple of weeks ago, and it's been really sad and hard. And you know, Birdie's had a lot of stuff this school year that's been. I mean, like when you look at it, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
And at the break, at the holidays in December, you know, we said, like, we were like, if you don't want to go back, we're okay with that. Like, we can call it. Like, we did it.
You tried it, an experiment.
This was an experiment. It was a lot of things happened. Like even just, with Kate passing away, basically like her first week of classes, and then not being here with me and knowing that I know that was hard for her. And then, and she got like so sick after Thanksgiving, and then she had the seizure, and like, oh my God, you guys, like this kid.
Yeah, it's
in God's name. And then like the day before her spring break, which we didn't tell her until she was back in the States, but that's when Arnie passed. And so we, this last like week and a half. Oh, so almost 2 weeks. Yeah. Almost 2 weeks. Last week and a half, almost 2 weeks has been, that's been hard, and really hard for Mark, and really hard for all of us. But she's like, she wants to finish the year out. I like really, I really respect her fortitude.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed by her like continued resilience, but it is hard when she goes.
Yeah.
But it's almost over. So
it's so close.
My prediction, you want to know what my prediction is?
What?
My prediction is that like, we're going to spend the next we're doing this show. Mark's going to do a bunch of like research and stuff. We're going to figure out like what she would do for school next year here.
Yeah.
We're going to like figure it all out. And then she's going to be like, I actually kind of want to go back. Swear to God. I just feel like she's going to be like, but I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
It's fine. And by the way, her going back, her next year there potentially could be 100% different than the way,
of course,
than the way this year was. 100%. Because you're a different person every year when you're that age. You're a different person every year anyway.
Wait, what did I want to talk about?
You were like, let's talk about. We were talking about how
Mercury in retrograde.
Oh,
well, I did the ultimate like most insane thing, which is that I, for some reason, thought that like solar eclipse, Mercury in retrograde, like what new moon was the moment for me to get a new phone finally. And so like on Sunday, was it Sunday or Monday? No, it was Sunday. I attempted to like transfer all of my information. And when I tell you it was like comical, I felt so dumb. I was just like, what? You know better than this. What are you doing?
Can I just tell you something though? I don't think it's you that's dumb. Like over Mercury retrograde, here are things that happen to my technology.
Yeah.
All of my things that I'm signed in on just signed me out.
Same.
Because they're all just like, oh, I'm just going to sign you out and like hope you remember your password from the 1990s. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, are there better ways that I could keep track of my passwords? Yes. But also busy. One thing that I was so proud of myself over the pandemic is that I figured out how to make an automation on my iPhone that texts me 15 minutes before sunset so that I can go out and look at the sunset. And that was important for me to do, and it was very complicated to do. I've never done shit to my phone to change that. And now, just over this past Mercury retrograde, I get a text from my phone that says sunset is coming in 15 minutes. I get a text from me to myself that says sunset is coming in 15 minutes. And I get a text from Busy Phillips that sunset is coming in 15 minutes.
I actually was going to say, do you get a text from me?
Yes.
I don't know why, but I felt like that was probable that my phone texts you. Because Raymond Padilla programmed it so that I get the shortcut.
Yeah.
So how we must be tied together for that shortcut. I don't know.
But my phone is probably just like, well, she texts herself a lot and Busy texts her a lot. So this is probably from both of them. I don't know. I don't know. And our phones are they're not alive. So I'm not assigning like any hostility to it. But it is kind of wacky and weird. The only person that can ever figure out any of this stuff is Janie Haddad. So she's who we're going to have get to the bottom of it. She's the one that
we need you.
She's the one that made it so that I stopped getting 15 calendar notifications because I had an infinite loop of like my Microsoft calendar was alerting my Mac calendar, was alerting my back and forth. So I would get like 20 notifications that I had a meeting coming up. And she's the only person that could stop it.
Well, we need her. Well, it's chaos.
It's chaos. You had an earthquake.
Oh my God. So my parents came to town.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Since you've lived there.
Since we've lived here, yes, certainly, but also since like 2004.
Right, because you've gone to visit them, but
yeah, but like they haven't been to, I'm saying they came to New York for like a trip in 2004, I think, to see some Broadway shows.
Right.
And like have like a little trip. Early 2000s.
Yeah.
No, 2004 maybe, 2005.
Okay.
That's the last time my parents have been in New York, which, by the way, none of us remembered until my mom was like, wait, no, we saw hair. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but it was like, it was all complicated because like I said, like Ernie passed away and like,
right.
It's just there's been a lot that's been going on, happening in my families.
Yeah.
And with the kids and everything. And Olivia Rodrigo concert was Friday night. So my parents got in Thursday.
Okay.
Friday, earthquake. I'm just like, which I have to tell you, like, as a person who's been through so many earthquakes in Los Angeles, it was undeniably an earthquake, like when it happened.
Yeah.
It was very clearly an earthquake. Mark and I were actually in the same room at the townhouse.
Weird.
And I was just, we were like, but we were in disbelief, right? Like we were just like, that can't be what? Like this can't be what it is. Like we both had the exact same reaction, which was just like, I went to the doorway, as you do, as you're trained when you lived in Los Angeles for 24 years or whatever.
Right.
I like went to the doorway, like the stairway doorway. Mark just stayed seated. Maybe 2009 or 2010, my parents were in New York. So it wasn't that much. I mean, it was a long time ago, but
a long time ago.
It wasn't like forever ago. Because I just looked up when Hair was on Broadway. It was 2009. Anyway, but also New York is kind of weird because your house kind of rattles all the time.
Right. That like a truck goes by, subways, underground.
And they were doing construction on the corner of our street. And I just was like, actually, like my first thought was that the construction people like hit some pipe and that it was all going to blow. Like
entire towns exploded constantly. I feel like when I lived there.
That's literally what I thought. I was like, oh, fuck. I think everything's about to blow up.
Right.
But then I like opened the door then I went upstairs and like opened the front door and looked out and like no one seemed to be doing anything different. Like it just seemed like no one was paying attention. Like nothing was happening.
They're like, a crane fell down.
And then I just was like, I don't want to be weird, but I wanted to ask the internet because I couldn't find anything on Twitter immediately.
Right.
And so I just posted immediately, like, not to be weird, but did we just have an earthquake in New York? 90% sure that was an earthquake. And sure enough, it was an earthquake. It was an earthquake.
Oh
my parents were just, I think my mom thought it was really funny that they came and had an earthquake. But that, I think they had a nice time because
Good.
when I wanted to go see Merrily We Roll Along because I haven't seen it yet, but I decided that it would be better if I sent them to see Merrily while I took the kids to Olivia Rodrigo at Madison Square Garden. There was no way my parents were going to Olivia Rodrigo. I mean, that's
Right.
just...
Your mom's not a big Breeders fan?
Well, by the way, I just want to say something about that. I am a big Breeders fan. I didn't get to see them at all.
You didn't?
No. And you know what, guys? This is a real case of like having to just deny something you like for your kids.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
I was so I know, but I was so excited for you to get to see the Breeders, in case you don't know, but like classic Gen X alternative.
Anyone cooler?
Kim and Kelly Deal.
Anyone cooler than Kim and Kelly Deal? No.
Nobody cooler. And I was so excited that they were opening for Olivia and that you were going to get to see them, and you didn't.
I didn't really get to see them. I got to hear like Divine Hammer, kind of. But I had to wait in that merch line, guys. And you know what? We were running late because my family was here. You know, like it was just it was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And so we were running late, had to wait for that merch. I had no choice. Guys, I had no choice. Some people might say you did. And I would say to you, no, I didn't. Did not have a choice. So I know that was kind of a bummer, but Birdie and her friend Paulina came. We saw Peter Dinklage again and his wife and their kid. Amazing. I told you that we saw them at Sweeney Todd.
No. That's so weird. You guys are on like the same social circle.
We really are. It's like this. It's like the same entertainment.
Yeah, you guys have the same taste.
But also, it's so funny. So, most people don't know this, but Peter and I first met through Michelle Williams because of the brilliant movie The Station Agent.
Yes.
That was sort of like Peter's breakout role in Hollywood. And Michelle's in that movie. And that movie is really quite fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend The Station Agent. Nice little indie movie. But then in maybe 2004, 2005, 2005, Peter and I starred on a pilot for CBS, I think, called Testing Bob. Peter was Bob.
Okay.
He was a like surly, it was a little bit like School of Rock vibes, kind of.
Okay.
It took place in a school, like a middle school.
Okay.
And he played this guy, Bob, who it was like, maybe he was like a writer or something, like a novelist or something who'd like fallen on hard times or something.
Okay.
And he had to be, a substitute teacher in a middle school.
Okay.
And like but then the position became permanent, or you know what I mean? And then Dave Foley played the principal, who was like his friend or something from college, who like gets him the job.
Yeah.
And then I played, I cannot believe I remember this character's name, Maddie, a teacher who's like sparring with Bob. Like,
okay,
we were maybe that in the future it would be like a will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they? Sam and Diane.
Who knows? Yes, exactly. That kind of dynamic. The pilot did not get picked up, guys. We're not on season 20
of Testing Bob.
Testing Bob for CBS. But I just adore Peter, like, is the greatest. His wife, Erica, is so cool. Their kids seem very cool. And especially his daughter, who's kind of like in between Birdie and Cricket's ages. And really, she and her friend, she's been with the same friend both times that we've seen them.
And
like, they just look at Birdie like she's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think she probably is. And Birdie and I were talking about it later because I was like, it's so funny. You know, Birdie has this thing where she's like, teenagers freak her out. This is what she says that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at what point do you realize that you are the teenager? I'm like, you're not a little kid anymore, Bird. You're the teenager. And she's like, I'm not though. I'm like, you are though. But I think it's why. And then we also met at Olivia Rodrigo's at the show. Gracie Abrams was there.
Okay.
She's a singer who has like Birdie loves some of her songs. She's got great songs. I've like listened to her through the kids, you know, but like really like I think she's super talented. She's also happens to be J.J. Abrams' daughter.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Birdie's like the original Nepos. And I was like, Bird, you're just cool. But Gracie was so sweet to Birdie. And then like I was chatting with her and she was like, Birdie is so herself. And I was like, she really is. I know.
Yeah.
Everybody says that about her. And it's true.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting thing. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, it was fun. It was like such a great concert. Olivia is so cute and so good.
Yeah. She seems really lovely. People just
so
love her.
Nice. And like, I have to tell you, so, you know, I know her a little bit, because I do.
Sure.
And because I do, but also like Birdie was such a fan. She was an American Girl doll. She starred as an American Girl doll in one of those movies.
Yes.
Like a decade ago.
Yeah.
I think she's 12 years old.
Oh my God.
Grace stirs up success. And it was Birdie's favorite, first of all, her favorite American Girl doll movie, her favorite girl of the year. Cause like, it was like the confluence of circumstances. It was like the perfect age.
Yeah.
She was like 6 or something, or 5 or 6 when it came out. And Birdie was always obsessed with Julia Child. I don't know if you know this. Or if you remember this.
I was obsessed with Julia Child.
Yeah, Birdie was convinced she was Julia Child reincarnated when she was when she was in 1st or 2nd grade. Like, of course.
Oh my God.
But so when Birdie was like 6, yeah, because Cricket was a baby in a bassinet. Because all we can find is a picture of Cricket in the bassinet.
Oh my God.
Like in the stroller.
Yeah.
But when Birdie was 6, there was like this meet Grace from Grace Stirs Up Success at the Williams-Sonoma in the South Coast Plaza, like in Orange County.
Oh my God. Yeah.
On like a Saturday at 10 a.m. And Birdie saw it somehow, like at the Grove. I think they had posters.
Oh my God.
Up at the American Girl doll store.
Yeah.
And Birdie saw it and was like, we're going. You know, like I have to meet Grace.
Yeah.
Stirs Up Success. And we were just like, you know, like when you have little kids, people at home, maybe you remember, maybe you have little kids currently. I remember this, where it was like, you got to fill up a whole weekend, you know?
Yeah.
And so like a 2-hour drive to the South Coast Plaza on a Saturday was like, or an hour and a half, however, it takes a long time, I feel like, to get there on the 405. We were just like, Mark and I were like, okay, let's do it. I remember being so tired, like drinking Starbucks, waiting in line to meet Grace Stirs Up Success. She's like this little 12-year-old with her mom. And she was so excited to meet me, a thing I did not plan on.
Right.
It didn't even occur to me that she would know who I was because she's 12 at 10 years ago. But from White Chicks.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
And so that was how we met, and how we initially met Olivia Rodrigo. That's so insane. And then like Birdie's just the perfect age. She's like aged perfectly with Olivia, because then High School Musical, the movie, the musical, the TV show or whatever.
Right.
was like perfect when Birdie was whatever, that 10.
Yeah, she's the
11.
core audience.
Core audience. And then like the first album came out, Birdie's like 13 and feeling angsty. And now, like it's just like she's been on this journey with Olivia. So, and when they did that movie with the album, Olivia invited us to come to the like premiere in LA, and we went and reconnected with her. And she was like, "Oh my God, you were a baby. You were so little. Now you're grown up." And she's like been very good friends. She's like best friends with the Apatow girls, or really good friends with Iris. So I just feel like she's like
she's in your orbit.
Like she's in the orbit, and she's also like, I feel like she's, even though I don't know her parents, I do feel like almost like by extension, she's like one of those, like the kids of a friend of mine.
Right. Yes.
Like when I met Gracie Abrams, I was like, oh yeah, like this is what, no babies. Sorry. We love them. I love them. They're my favorite. Anyway.
It's hilarious.
So we saw Olivia after the show just for a minute. Oh, but I have her phone number, but I didn't text her because I was like, she's on this huge tour that's like the biggest deal. I'm not going to text the girl and like ask her to hook me up. Do you know what I mean? Like that's weird. So instead I like went through other channels to do it. This was not a situation where I was like Taylor Swifting on Ticketmaster. I was just like, can someone help me just get tickets for this? I forgot in all the press for doing all the stuff that I've been doing and all the traveling. I like fully flaked on it.
Yeah.
And so they did. And so then we went back after and like saw her, and she's so cute and so sweet and so nice. And her manager kept saying like, Olivia, shh, you have to rest your voice. Don't talk so much. Like it was really quite a vibe and really funny. And then she texted me the next day thanking us for coming.
That's so nice. What a nice person.
That's what I'm saying. All of this run up was to tell you that she's such a little sweet person that she texted me the next day and was like, thank you guys so much for coming. It was so great to see you. I so appreciate it. Like, come on.
I love that.
And I got to see my favorite Noah Khan. I saw him play at Radio City. And I've like followed him on Instagram, and then he like blew up this past year, and Olivia covered one of his songs, Stick Season, and then he came out and played it with her. And
that's really very cool.
So I got to like meet him and his friends backstage, and it was really cute.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was all really, really cute and nice and fun. My kids had a good time, I think.
I went to see the opening night of Funny Girl here in Los Angeles.
I know.
And it was amazing. I went with my friend Rebecca Metz, who is an actor that you might know from the show Better Things, or she's on Coop and Cammy on the Disney Channel. But we went to, and of course, so she knew everyone there in the crowd because she also does theater. So that was really cool. But
that's always fun.
Holy smokes. The woman playing Fanny Bryce, her name is Katarina McCrimmon. I've never had a theatrical experience where people reacted the way that they did in the audience. And like I've seen many a Broadway show, obviously. People were gasping. There was a man in front of me who was like, he looked like a hippie, like a hippie-ish older white guy in his 60s. And, not to whatever, like I just never think of like a hippie-ish person as like loving theater or what. He couldn't contain his joy, and nobody could contain themselves. She got standing ovations like mid-song in the middle of the show.
Here's what I know, guys. Casey has never before, like you sent me like other video of her singing so that I could see it because you were so impressed by her.
Yeah.
And we're like, I've never seen anything like this before.
It was insane. Yeah, because I'm not trying to convince you that, that you need to
see the touring company of Funny Girl.
Well, that I am trying to convince. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have great taste in music, so I'm never telling you anything that you don't know. I'm never
Right.
like I'm never introducing something to you that you never heard of. But this woman she was incredible. Melissa Manchester played her mom. I was excited to see Melissa Manchester. She's an icon to me. And it was really great. And I just love that there's great theater in Los Angeles. Like, people don't talk about it enough at all, but you can see the touring company of so many great shows. I took Eli to see Romeo and Juliet, also at the Amundsen Theater, also opening night. It was a ballet, and it was so really well done, and it was so crazy. I never told you this. Eli was like, turned to me, and he's the least likely person to like attend a ballet, but I just was having a hard time finding someone to go with me, and he did it like out of graciousness. And he was like, I'm really enjoying it, so that's good. But also, I think you took me to see something by this choreographer before when I was a kid, an Edward Scissorhands show in New York City. And I was like,
was he right?
I had no memory of it. And we looked it up, and 100% I had
Who's the
taken him.
choreographer? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, somebody really famous.
There's good stuff to see, guys.
But anyway, yeah, that brought back a memory for Eli of like going to see this Edward Scissorhands ballet, apparently, that I took him to that I had no memory of having taken him to. So I don't know. But anyway, it was super fun. And then Lincoln finally got to collect on his birthday gift, which is that he went to see Bruce Springsteen. We had gotten him tickets to see Bruce Springsteen at the Forum.
I've seen a lot of vids from people in LA seeing Bruce.
Yeah, because he was supposed to perform in December, and he had to postpone to April because he was sick at the time in December. And so it got postponed, and I was so worried that it wasn't going to work out. But it seems like from all accounts, it was a perfect night. And
amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you gotta go see these folks when you get the chance.
Yeah.
If you can.
If you can't, I'm like, also like, if you can afford it, because boy, was it expensive. I mean, the Olivia ticket's not cheap. Even though I went through the auspices, I still paid for them. Yeah. And they're not cheap.
Listen, I'll say this about Bruce Springsteen. If Lincoln hadn't dropped out of college, we wouldn't have been able to afford getting those tickets for him. So thank God.
Listen, you know what? We're just grateful for the small things. Like the fact that he dropped out of college.
What are you doing your best at this week?
I actually think I did a good job of like kind of just trying to be, like trying to just roll through it all, all of it, roll through the emotions, whatever they were, like, cause there have been a lot of emotions in the last week, especially like, and I think sometimes I get stuck on them.
Yeah.
And I don't let them roll through. I sort of like hold. I'm a holder.
Yeah.
And I do think that I was doing a good job. I did my best this week at like rolling through and like trying to not hold on to the things. And then also like not hold on to any judgment that I had about the emotions.
Right.
To myself.
Right.
Because I feel like sometimes I do that too. Like I'll have the emotion, like I said, I got upset with my mom and then I was like upset with myself about it. And then I was like, but don't just let that go. Cause this is the conversation in my head. I'm like, you got to let that go. Cause you can't change it, how you reacted. And she loves you and you love her. And like, you all know that where it's all coming from. And so like, just move through it. It's okay. Like you can apologize. And sorry if I got too heated. I love you.
Biz, I'm happy you're bringing this up and I hope that you're not like embarrassed or whatever, but I have noticed that I think you're doing this a lot more lately. And I have noticed. And I think it's something that, to me, it seems like something that you're paying attention to and working on. Like it's like I just noticed the other day that something that happened, I don't even know what it was. It wasn't important, but something that I think would have really bummed you out in the past. You really were like, okay, but that happened. So like, how do we go forward from here? And I would be like, as your friend, like, oh shit, this is going to ruin her day. She's not going to be psyched about this or whatever, which is how I am about all of my friends. Like, I think that I'm probably overly sensitive to how they're going to feel about something. But I just feel like, you've been so just like exactly what you said. So much like, okay, so that thing happened. It's not the best, but like, how do we move forward from that? And it's such a great example for me. And I just have noticed that about you. So I see you trying.
I mean,
and doing.
I am. I think I am. Ooh, Mark. Wait, I just got a text from Mark that he unsent a message.
Oh no.
It's always sus. I'm always like, what did he unsend?
What did he unsend?
I don't know.
And it's like, was it that he rethought what he wanted to say to you, or did he accidentally send you a text?
He sent me something. Gina's being so annoying. I'm trying to whisper so she doesn't hear me.
I could never say anything about her because
I know.
My girls they're just bad girls. They're just bad girls. They don't even try to ever be personable. Millie is really like, she just makes vocal noises all the time now. And it's always because she has a burp like stuck inside her stomach and she doesn't. And I'm just like, can you just remember from day to day that this feeling that you're having is because you have to burp?
I mean, she's a dog. They're never going to remember.
But I just feel like they could remember, like they know the sound of like who's coming to the door. So I'm like, could you remember that you have to burp every day at this time? Like, could you remember that? And then Birdie just lays wherever you have to go by. She just lays like in that doorway. And then if you don't step carefully enough around her, she'll bite you.
Yeah.
She will bite you.
She's be like her own agendas.
Look what you made me do. Yeah.
I didn't want to bite you.
You came too near me.
This is on you. Yeah.
So that's those two girls. But I love them. They're funny as heck. They just are not great roommates.
No, Gina's, obviously the best. But today she's having some. Maybe this is post-eclipse something.
She's on
having
one,
like a She is having like a post-eclipse like hangover or something.
She didn't let go of all her negativity.
She did not cut the cords. I told her to. I did it. I did a cord cutting ceremony. Wait, what are you doing your best at?
I am doing my best at like just doing shit. Like there are so many things that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have time for that. I'm not going to be able to fit that in, or should I do this? So many things that I've just like let clog up my life. I'm just not doing that. So like I went and got a mammogram. Which is like something I needed to do to be able to get one of my stupid prescriptions. I needed to get a mammogram first, blah, 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 blah. So like I just went and did it, and I ended up driving like 40 miles away to get a mammogram within the amount of time that I had. But I was like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to get my driver's license renewed because the renewal form came, instead of like filing it away and then forgetting that I'm supposed to get my driver's license renewed. Just stuff like that. I'm just trying to get through things. And also I feel like I'm giving answers on things, and it's kind of like back in the swing of making a show, stuff like that. But like giving answers on things instead of forestalling, like, when people, we were talking about it, when people are like, oh, are you going to like be able to hang out when you're in New York? I'm like, here's the legit truth. I'm coming to do a job. It's going to be a lot of work. I don't know that I will have so much time to hang out, but I'd love to see your face for a few minutes if that's in, like the old me would be like, oh yeah, maybe let's talk about it more, you know. But I'm just
at that too. And I'm impressed. I think that's your influence on me, I have to say.
Just being like, let me be so real and honest with you. I have no idea if I'm going to have a night to go out to dinner. I just don't know.
Yes.
And because if someone loves you, they love you if you're honest about that. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you were too busy for me or whatever, you know? And it's not like somebody is not coming to me and saying like, this is my wedding or this is this important event. Like being there for somebody at a really important pivotal point in their life, that's a different thing. You know, that's something that I wouldn't hem or haw about, you know, but in the past, like hanging out, things like that, like listen, these are great problems to have, right? That like you have so much going on that you have to ask someone to be patient while you figure out if you have time to like absorb the warmth and sunshine of their friendship. Like that's a pretty fucking great problem to have. But I am proud of myself for not blowing smoke.
Right. But also, because I was also going to say, yes, but I think the inclination that so much of us that we default to is that we are so lucky to have friends and the warmth of people that we love or whatever, that like we say yes, even if the answer is, I actually don't know if I can.
Right.
I love you so much, but I actually just don't know if it's possible. But we want to say yes, so we just say yes and then end up disappointing them and then feeling guilty and then disappointing ourselves. And then like that's the thing. Once I realized, and it was, I think it in large part due to watching you do it and you also being like, Biz, do you have time for that? Once I realized that like it actually in the long run makes everything easier and makes people feel better.
Yeah.
When you are honest and you say no, you can't say no to everything. My God. But you know, you have to like be able to know when things are going to be a little bit crazy. And people, by the way, sometimes you can just be like, can we play it by ear? And people are like, yeah, sure. I can do that.
Exactly. I feel good about that. And it makes me actually feel a lot less anxious to just, to know that like we're entering into this thing that's going to be a lot of work, but I want it to be fun work and I want us to have a good time and not
and fast.
It's going to be fun and fast and a lot. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm really excited and I'm gonna start packing. That's the other thing. I'm about to do my best at not being last minute to get on that plane.
Even if you are. It's New York. You know what I mean? Matt can send you stuff. It'll be fine.
It's true. It'll all be fine. It's like such lucky things to like, that's another thing. I'm trying to tell myself like the thing that you're slightly anxious about right now is the luckiest thing to be anxious about.
Yeah.
You're so lucky. You know?
Yeah. I'm not feeling like stressed. I'm feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to get to like do this. That's so crazy. And like also, how is it going to work? And we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like we don't.
It's going to be great. The team at QVC is the nicest team I've ever worked with.
Guys, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Oh my God. That was insane.
Is everything okay?
There are like 8 men and my super. And he's like, sorry, I meant to text you. Can we just look at your balcony real quick? And I was like, no. No, I'm in the middle of my podcast. I actually got to finish it. I have other things to do. I can't. No, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I have a dog here who's being a pain in the ass. I don't want 6 strange men tromping through my fucking apartment. No.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. See? It's no is a complete sentence. We're doing it.
Guys.
We're doing it. We're having boundaries.
Well, guys, we hope you cut the cord, set your boundaries, and are able to say no. An empowered no.
We love you so much, and
love you so much.
We'll talk to you next week, and hopefully your super won't show up with 8 guys in the middle of your podcasts.
So bizarre. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.